Yeah.
Number one was the Eagles. I mean, that's
Yeah.
and for the reasons which most of the people know. I mean, you're talking about a team that from a draft perspective, I thought nailed it. Really with impactful guys who are going to get on the field and help them a lot. But also you add A.J. Brown. I mean, a Pro Bowler to go with Devontae Smith is huge. It's huge. Network, DeGon, B. Brooks, R. Ellis on this Thursday. All right, guys, let's turn our sights to a little football here as we are now 19 days away from training camp kicking off. I thought this was interesting. CBS Sports put out a top 5 list of the most improved NFL teams, okay? So the way that they ranked it, 5 was the Bengals, 4 was the Steelers, 3 was the Jets, 2 was the Chargers, and number 1 was the Philadelphia Eagles in terms of improvement from last year to this year on paper, obviously. But I thought it was a pretty interesting 5. And when I started, really kind of digging through some of these teams, there's one I really don't get. There's one I really don't get, one I disagree a little bit with, and the other 3 I can see. Okay, if that makes sense. So I guess I'll start. The team I don't agree with at all. I don't see what big move the Steelers made. I mean, Mitch Trubisky. I know it was over with Ben last year, but they get Mitch Trubisky, they draft Pickett, okay, and they get George Pickens, the receiver, in the second round out of Georgia, who's got a lot of talent, but it was banged up in college. Other than that, the moves aren't anything that notable to me. And
no.
I don't know how they get you 4th overall.
They're suspected quarterback.
Big time. Yep.
Some of the experts feel Trubisky in the Steelers system is going to make him a much better quarterback. And I don't know how. I really don't see it. But in terms of additions, there's nothing that really jumps out at you. Now, Pickens is a good receiver, but he's got to prove himself at this level, first of all. Kenny Pickett is not going to start right away. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't see how the Steelers, because there's 4 other teams that didn't make the list you just mentioned that I think made significant improvements more so than the Steelers did.
Yeah.
So I don't get where they're coming from in that one.
Barrett, how about you? I mean, you obviously keep a close eye on the team. You play there. You won a Super Bowl there. But are you buying they're a top 4 improved team?
I don't see it. I mean, I guess you can look at Miles Jack coming over from Jacksonville. Really helped their defense. Defensive. He's a defensive linebacker. So of course, him rushing the opposite of T.J. Watt is definitely going to help them out a lot. They did get Jannard Avery. He fits their scheme. He didn't do anything for us.
He's a role player.
Right. And then they got DeMarvin Leal in the 3rd round. Now, DeMarvin, I liked him, from Texas A&M, versatile guy. He kind of, he fits that Aaron Smith type of mold as far as a guy that's very versatile, can play inside, outside. And with that 3-4 system that they run, he could really help them out a lot. But other than that, I don't see any real moves that, they can really be great at. There's nothing that really turns me in the direction that this team has really improved themselves. Mitchell Trubisky is just a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he may have been something. He may have been something special when he was in Buffalo, but I don't see him being anything now. Kenny Pickett is probably the 3rd team quarterback right now in back of Mason Rudolph. As far as the receivers, yes, you guys said George Pickens. I mean, he's a nice addition to Chase Claypool and Deontay Johnson.
I don't hate the pick. I just don't think there's enough there to
how
justify this.
The line still sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got beat up last year. Now you're going to have a quarterback in Trubisky, who how he throws when he's,
under duress. Yeah.
He's just a bad quarterback then. So you're right. That's a team that I can't see getting any better than what they were. You know what I'm saying? They lost their starting center from last year. I mean, I just don't see them really improving from what they were the years prior. So, no. I mean, I think they've gotten bad. they've gotten worse. So I mean they're going to be able to run the ball. That's the only thing they can do with Najee.
Yeah, they will. I agree there.
He's a beast, but other than that,
but they had that. You know what I mean? Like that's not an
Right.
improvement on what they had.
Right.
So Steelers were the ones that really jumped out at me. I would say the other one that I don't quite see it with the Bengals. Like
Exactly.
they got La'el Collins, which look, you got to do anything you can to protect Burrow.
Well,
I agree with that. But
Collins and Alex Carpenter from Tampa Bay. That he's a really good guard, a really good guard from Tampa Bay.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
All right.
That's fair.
So they drew the offensive line. They had everything else they needed: defense, receivers, running backs. But when Rob presented the list and said most improved, I'm thinking of significant, major move. Now, obviously for Cincinnati, considering how many times Joe Burrow got hit, because that dude, he must have been on rubber legs street half the season.
Yeah,
right.
With the volume of times he got hit. Okay,
Right.
that's the significant improvement. But again, I go back to my initial statement. And I agree with Rob 100%. When it comes to the Steelers and the Bengals, I'm looking at them going, that's it.
Right.
Bengals got, they got the safety out of Michigan, Daxton Hill. But okay.
Yeah, they get the corner out of Nebraska, Kendall Britt. Okay. Yeah.
Exactly. You don't even know if these guys are going to start.
Right. Right. I mean, and when I look at everything else, that to me it looks the same. I mean, they'll get better as far as those guys playing together more.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I don't see anything as far as a big improvement. I mean, even the guys they drafted, free agent Kwame Lassiter II.
Yeah.
Kwame Lassiter, his pops was a good player.
He was.
Played safety. He passed away.
Yep.
But he University of Kansas. Kind of a good player. I like him. I did a Kansas game last year. I think he'll be a needed addition. But they didn't really need him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got the best trifecta of receivers in the NFL. With Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins.
Nasty.
Right.
It's pretty hard trying to build upon that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right, man. It's they still got the same running game, which is pretty good with Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine.
Right.
So they'll be the same there, but I don't see anything else that really gives them a blaring review. Besides Cam Taylor-Britt.
Yeah. Who I think could step in and play for them for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's the two I didn't necessarily agree. The other three I totally get. Like
I get it. Yep.
To me, a lot of this for the Jets is about the draft. I thought the Jets killed the draft.
They did.
Sauce Gardner. This is just the first. Boom, boom, boom. Here's their first three: Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and Jermaine Johnson. I mean, you're helping yourself in the defensive backfield, at receiver, and your defensive line with guys who I think will start right away for you.
Absolutely.
Right away. Yep.
Big. I mean, Joe Douglas had a really good draft, man.
Huge.
Oh, there's no question about it. I mean, Jermaine Johnson left Georgia, went to Florida State, and was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year.
Yep.
In one season.
Mm-hmm.
And he was considered by a lot of people the best, D lineman on the board.
People were shocked he fell that far.
Exactly.
They were able to get him with their third first-round pick.
And the other two could be immediate impact players for him. And then you look at some of the other additions. I mean, people may snicker, but I think picking up Nate Herbig off of waivers is going to be huge for that offensive line.
Absolutely.
Under the radar move.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
They signed cornerback DJ Reed. They signed safety Jordan Whitehead. Then they picked up guard Laken Tomlinson, tight end CJ Uzama.
Uzama's a good move.
Yes, he was.
Uzama's a great move.
He's going to help Wilson big time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big time.
They picked up running back Tevin Coleman.
Yep.
And then, of course, people don't talk about this, but in the second round, they got the running back Bryce Hall. A lot of people thought he was the best running back in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce Hall is a beast from Iowa State.
Yes.
I mean, he's a bell cow back. He'll tote that rock for him, so I can see him. He might be going up. He might be playing in front of Coleman and Perine.
I'll tell you, if Wilson can play a little bit, they're not going to be a doormat. Don't think you're just going to roll the Jets over again this year.
You will, because there's quarterbacks.
I was just going to say, but I don't trust Wilson. I don't. I got to see it from him, man, to believe it. I don't see it, but I think they really did. Other than the quarterback, which is we could say that with every team, they did a good job improving.
Yes,
I thought, this past year.
He did a great job of bringing guys in and slip. I mean, I think Nate Herbig is going to start. You know, if anybody goes out, he'll start it.
And he can play in so many different positions. The guy's versatile too.
Yep, all three inside positions.
But so, yeah, I mean, we don't usually say this, but really good offseason by the Jets. It's rare that you say that.
I know.
It's true. All right, so that's the Jets. Then we go to number 2, the Chargers. Again, a team that already had a pretty good foundation from last year. So they add Khalil Mack to go the opposite of Bosa. Okay.
Yep.
They add J.C. Jackson, the corner from the Patriots.
That's right.
Know he's well trained, right, and knows going to recognize everything he's seeing. Sebastian Joseph Day, defensive tackle, who's a little under the radar, I think. And then Troy Reeder,
the Rams.
Yeah, and Troy Reeder's a real solid linebacker who comes over from the Rams.
And they picked up tight end Gerard and everything.
That's right.
They also picked up offensive guard Zion Johnson, to shore up that offensive line. So I thought the Chargers addressed a lot of their needs, and they're already a good team. Now, whether their record is indicative of how good of a team is going to be remains to be seen, because that is the new black and blue division in the NFL.
That's a nasty.
You know what I'm saying? 10-7 might win that division.
Yeah.
And they were able to sign back their free agent guy like Mike Williams.
Mike Williams, right?
That's
absolutely.
That's huge, because I thought he was gone, and they already had some guys that could burn it up. Guyton is a 4-3, 4-2 guy who can pick him up and put him down. And of course they got the old man. Keenan Allen is still one of the clutch receivers. You know what I'm saying, in the league.
Yeah.
So
and they did a good job last year. They got Asante Samuel Jr. Right?
Yeah,
they did a nice job.
Yeah,
Asante, he's really good. And then you got your boy Rashad Slater from Northwestern.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Pro Bowler his first year.
Big boy can play. Big boy can play.
Pro Bowl his first year. So I mean they are definitely improved. They improved themselves where they needed to. Cornerback position and rusher. I mean they're good. I already like the linebackers. So Kenneth Murray Jr. was my guy. I wanted him so bad.
They let Kaiser White walk. I mean, they
because of him,
that kind of depth. Yeah,
because of him. Because of Murray played so well.
Yeah.
They let him just go. So
I got to see about their coach, guys. I like some of the things that he did last year, but he is very analytically driven to the point of my chart's telling me this, I'm doing it. He gets maybe what his gut's telling him in a game sometimes.
Yep.
And I just have to, and it was his first year, so I need to see what this looks like from him this year before I go all in with them.
Yeah, he's almost too analytical with the analytics. That could hurt him a little bit, but you gotta have feel, man. Everybody in that division, goes by feel. You got Big Red. I don't know how you can compete, with these upper echelon teams with this division.
Yeah. If
you don't have that feel, they got a feel with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Kansas City has a feel.
Yep.
We'll see what's going to go on with Denver. I'm surprised Denver didn't make the list.
You add Russell Wilson and you don't crack 5, man.
Right.
I guess because there wasn't a lot of other splashy moves, but that quarterback, man, like that's a huge thing for a team that's already got a pretty good defense too.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you, Barrett. Like I'd probably bump Cincy or Pittsburgh and just sheerly on Wilson.
Just on Wilson alone you would have to.
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting.
Well, I would bump Pittsburgh and Cincinnati based on 4 other teams that I did some research on.
Who do you like, Gunner? Yeah,
okay, look at the Raiders. First, you got Josh McDaniels, and say what you want to say about him. I think Josh McDaniels is one of the better offensive minds in the game. Mm-hmm. Well, you know who his quarterback is. They go out and get Devontae Adams. They got Chandler Jones, and then they got Rock Ya-Sin as well to help out. So they helped out their wide receiver, the defense, and the cornerbacks. Then I look at Jacksonville. Look at what Jacksonville did. They go out and get Brandon Scherf, cornerback Darius Williams, tight end Evan Ingram when he's healthy. He never plays a full season, but when he's healthy. They drafted linebacker Devin Lloyd, and you got Doug Peterson as head coach. And, oh, by the way, Christian Kirk, who was the number 3 receiver in Arizona, now moves up to possibly your number 1 receiver there. Trent Baalke, their GM, this offseason in free agency alone, gave out $148 million guaranteed money. 148.
Well, think about it too, Derek. They get Travis Etienne back.
Oh my goodness, I
He's
love
back,
it.
yep.
I
Who
love
missed
it.
the whole year.
Yeah.
And, you have to assume Lawrence in his second year under Doug, away from that mess of Urban Meyer,
Oh my goodness,
is going to take a big step forward here.
Yes.
Huge
year.
step. A huge step, So, I mean, you're right, man. If you the team that should have made the list, who probably threw around just as much money as Jacksonville, is Miami. How did you not put Miami in there?
Oh, yeah. That was my next team.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyreek Hill, they got offensive tackle Teron Armstead, offensive guard Connor Williams. So they've already improved their offensive line.
Yep.
They go out and get Cedric Wilson from Dallas.
Yep.
Teddy Bridgewater's your backup. Running back Chase Edmonds. And then in the third round, keep this kid's name in mind. They got this linebacker from Georgia, Channing Tyndale.
Yep.
Keep that in mind. So Miami did a great job. Now, my fourth team, it comes down to just two players, but those are going to be two significant players. Denver, Russell Wilson, Randy Gregory.
Yep.
I think just those two alone were better than what Pittsburgh and Cincinnati did combined.
Agreed.
Yeah,
agreed.
You're absolutely
think
right.
about you're talking about the arguably quarterback, certainly number one, but arguably either defensive end or left tackle or corner as the next most important position on the football field.
Yes.
And to add Gregory, who's a legit although he sometimes gets in his own way with off the field, but the guy's a legit pass rusher when he's got his head screwed on straight, for sure. Yeah, I like it. Number one was the Eagles. I mean, that's and for the reasons which most of the people know. I mean, you're talking about a team that from a draft perspective, I thought nailed it. Really with impactful guys who are going to get on the field and help them a lot. But also you add AJ Brown. I mean, a Pro Bowler to go with Devontae Smith is huge. So
can I give you one more team?
Yeah.
That should have made the list.
Yeah.
New Orleans. New Orleans should have made that list.
Yeah.
You get Chris Olave and Trevor Penning in the first round. So now you have, your starting wide out. You got your starting left tackle. But then you go out in free agency and go out and get Jarvis Landry.
Yep.
I forgot about that.
Which is huge. I mean, huge. Just from that aspect alone. But then you go out and you sign guys that can come in and play like Andy Dalton's there. I mean, that's a good backup quarterback.
Well, I don't love Jameis Winston, but he's healthy now. It's better. It's better than Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian.
Exactly. So
the way that ended.
To me, that's better than what the Steelers did. And anyway, so I don't know why they didn't make the list. So I mean, there's some teams that did some great stuff. I don't know how CBS made this list or what were the dynamics?
I think it was just I think it was a combo draft, free agents, trades, whatever, combo of all three. I don't know if the Bengals upgraded significantly. Doesn't mean I don't think the Bengals are going to be good. I do think they're going to be good. Obviously, they went to the Super Bowl last year and they have Burrow and all that. Pittsburgh to me is always, you never write them off because they're so well coached. The culture's so good. They have a good defense. If Pickett ends up being, the guy and can play, then that's a game changer. But I don't love the quarterback situation right now.
Right.
And I can't get behind them, strongly because
what? Hey guys, when we come back from break, man, I want to talk about this. This might be an interesting dynamic here, man. Darnold Mayfield, because Darnold might just outplay Mayfield. And
there are people that believe this is going to be a battle, and I don't see it.
I don't see it.
All right. Let's do this. We'll do this when we get back. I started seeing that this morning, and I'm thinking, am I missing something here? But well, let's get into that. So we'll do that when we get back. We'll do rookie impact. We're going to break down how each division is going to finish. Our top five our top five running backs. Got a lot of football stuff to do today, so we'll hit all of that. A little later, we'll do some Phillies and some Sixers and some birthdays. And Aaron Rodgers got some ink, which we'll show you, fellas.
Not money.
No, not that kind of.
He already got all the money.
I'm going to. Barrett is the expert with this, so we're going to turn to his expertise and whether he likes what A-Rod did. So we'll get into that as well. All right, so a lot more to do. Don't go anywhere. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We're Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. All right, I want to tell you about my friends at Pro Action Restoration. We got some pretty nasty rain in this area this morning, and sometimes that can cause flooding. And I went through this with my parents a few years ago. They got flooding in their basement. It was a finished basement. They were, older folks. They couldn't sit there and shop vac. I was over there trying to do it, and it was a total mess. So we called Pro Action. Pro Action was over there. It was a Saturday. They were over there in quick time, cleaned it up, got the house in good shape, and it was a very reasonable price. And I couldn't have been happier. And I'm thrilled to let you guys know about the quality of work that they do. They're on call 24 hours, 7 days a week to assist. They're licensed, bonded, fully insured. They've been serving the tri-state area for more than 2 decades. Pro Action will work in conjunction with your insurance company. Again, it could be water. It could be, God forbid, fire, smoke damage, mold remediation. You name it, they can handle it. Give them a call, 610-623-3760, 610-623-3760, or online at proactionrestoration.com. That's proactionrestoration.com.